All right, so here's the document that explains what it is that you have to do for your book report. So it says you have to have a title page. Okay, so this page is created on the computer. On this page you should have the name of the novel, the name of the author, and a picture about something from the novel. Now you may use one or more pictures if you want. Now probably the easiest way to do that is just to find an actual picture of your novel online. So I'm just going to go online here, and I'm going to go to Google. Sorry, I was ahead of myself. Google. And I'm going to search for Caribou Runaway. Now I'm probably going to put book cover in my search as well. And then I'm going to click over here on the side where it says images. And you'll notice that to get images, so here's one called Runaway. Well, that's not the right one. But here is a picture of our book. So I'm just going to click on it. And then I'm going to right click and copy the image. Now I'm going to go into a blank Word document, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste. Now I can't fly it around, but because of the other title page we did, you know that if you right click on an image and select text wrap and pick square, you can now fly it wherever you want. Now this is a very small image, so it's probably not going to print that all that well, but I can make it as big as I want to make it. That's not too bad. All right, so now my title page is done. Okay, so I probably want to skip down to another line or another page, so I can click over here on Insert Page Break. If I click on that, it will put in an extra page. Okay, so there's my title, here's my extra page. So now this is where I can actually start doing my book report. I'm just going to click back on the home button because I'm going to be using these things later on. Alright, what do we do next? So there's my title page, done. Now, a written book report. This must be done using the Word program on a computer. Your report should have the following sections. A main heading called Main Characters. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my book report. And I'm going to type in main characters. And then it says I have to underline this heading. So I'm going to highlight my words, main characters. And I'm going to click over here on the U to underline it. And I also have to make it bold. So I have to highlight it and click over here and make it bold. And then I have to align it to the center. So to align to the center, what a lot of kids do is they just hit space, but then, oh man, I got all these extra lines, that doesn't work. So to align something to the center, all you do is you highlight what you want to align, and then over here, if I clicked on this one, it would put it over on the right hand side. If I hit the left over here, it puts it on the left hand side. If I hit the middle one, it puts it in the middle. Okay? Now, one problem that kids often, or people often make, beginners make, is they put their cursor at the end of their title and then they hit enter, and it still ends up being center aligned and bolded and underlined. Okay, so if you end up doing that, well, first of all, the way to get rid of that is just don't put your cursor here, put your cursor over there. But let's say you forget that and you do type in and it goes, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, all you have to do then is just highlight it, go to the alignment, say, okay, go to the left, click off the bold, click off the underline, and now you have just normal text. Okay? So, main characters. The main character in this novel is Elva. She is, how old is she? 13?
Yeah.
13 years old, blah, blah, blah. So you would tell about all the characters, all the important characters in your story. Okay? So for example, we wouldn't talk about the two miners that had the fight. We wouldn't talk about the ticket guy. Okay? But we would talk about if this character if this character wasn't in the novel, would the novel be, would we be able to have the novel? So most novels you probably have 4 or 5 main characters, and that's about it. Okay? So, write a short paragraph for each main character telling about that character, what they look like, what they do, their personality, and so on. Now notice, there is a maximum of 300 words long. A maximum. Now, how do you find out how do you figure out how many words you have? Well, if you wanted, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of lame. So instead, what you would do is you just highlight what you want to measure, and then you look down here, and it tells you that there are 16 of 18 words. So here I have 2 words, and so that makes the 18. So these 2 plus what I've underlined is 16, so 16 and 18. So this paragraph is only 16 words long. Okay? I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it a bunch of times. So now, if I wanted to find out how many words long I have 192 of 195 words. Okay? So that's how you can check to see how many words long your paragraph is. Okay? So I just got rid of all that stuff again. All right. Now, let's say you've told about the characters. Now you're going to tell about the setting. So I just finished my characters. Now I'm going to go setting. I need to highlight it, put it in the middle, make it bold, underline it, and then put my cursor below it. So in setting, you tell where and when the story takes place. This story takes place in British Columbia during the Gold Rush. Their life there is very difficult, blah, blah, and so on. How many words long is this? I highlight it. It's 18 words long. Okay? 38 means so far I've typed altogether, I've typed 38, but in this paragraph I've typed 18 words. Okay, so let's say I've done my setting. My plot. Okay, so plot. Highlight, centered, bold, underlined, new line. Okay, now I can't find a new line, so okay, I'll hit enter. What's going to happen? It's going to be not the way I want, so I'm just going to put over to the left, take off that, take off that. Okay. So, Alva goes in search of her father. In order to do this, she must pretend that she is a boy, blah, blah. Okay? So here, this is going to be the longest section, and this is going to be a retelling of the story. Okay? This is where you explain what happens in the story, but only the main parts, because you'll notice that you have a maximum of 400 words long. Okay? So if you end up telling every little bitty detail, you're probably not going to be able to make it in under 400 words. The setting, I should have pointed out that, you can only have a maximum of 100 words because it doesn't take too long to describe when and where the story takes place. Okay? All right, so let's say I finish my plot. I'm going to talk about the author. Now this time, I'm not going to do all the fancy smancy stuff. I'm going to wait till later. What's her name again? Sandy Frances Duncan, right?
Yeah.
Sandy Frances Duncan, blah, blah, blah. Now, to find out information about the author, you can go check on the internet, or there might be a biography of the author in the book itself. Now, if you can't find any information about the author, then you can write a paragraph about the author's style. So if you cannot find, there's absolutely nothing to be found about Sandy Frances Duncan, you can describe her style of writing. Okay? So, you know, Sandy Frances Duncan writes in a very adult type style. She uses big words and she uses lots of description. I don't know, you know, but somehow you're going to describe your author. So there's no reason for you not to have an author section. Now, I just want you to notice that you can go later on and set up your headings properly. So even though you've typed your paragraph, you can go and fix it up the way you want it. Okay? Next section. The final section is evaluation. See? I think that this book is great because blah, 1, blah, 2, blah. You'll notice that you need to have 3 reasons why you either like the book or you dislike the book. It's okay to dislike your book. It's okay, but as long as you come up with 3 reasons. It's also okay to have a mixed idea about your book. There's some things you like and there's some things that you don't like. Okay? So you have to give a paragraph explaining why you like it or don't like it, and once again you have to have no more than 150 words. You would have to make sure your heading is centered, bold, and underlined, and that's about it.
Okay.
So you need a title page. You need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full paragraphs, of course, and you need to have those paragraphs with headings that are properly formatted. Okay?